In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 college basketball games happening on January 2nd, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Purdue versus Maryland. Purdue, boasting a stellar record of 12-1 straight up and an impressive 9-3-1 against the spread, embarks on a journey to College Park, Maryland, to face off against the Terrapins in a highly anticipated Big Ten Conference clash on Tuesday night at the Xfinity Center. The Peacock Network will broadcast this matchup, adding to the excitement surrounding the game. Last season witnessed 2 intense encounters between these teams, resulting in a split, with Maryland claiming victory at home with a scoreline of 68-54, while Purdue responded with a triumphant 58-55 win on their home court. Notably, the Terrapins have covered the spread in 3 consecutive games and 8 of the last 9 matchups against the Boilermakers. Purdue's impressive start to the season saw them secure 7 consecutive victories, including notable wins against teams like Gonzaga, Tennessee, and Marquette. Despite a lone setback against Northwestern, the Boilermakers rebounded strongly, defeating formidable opponents such as Iowa, Alabama, and Arizona. In their recent matchup against Eastern Kentucky, Purdue dominated with an 80-53 victory, led by standout performances from Fletcher Loyer and Zach Edey. On the flip side, Maryland faced early season challenges with a 4-4 record in their initial 8 games, experiencing losses to Davidson, UAB, Villanova, and Indiana. However, the Terrapins found their rhythm, securing 5 consecutive wins against Penn State, Alcorn State, Nishalls, UCLA, and Coppin State. Their recent game against Coppin State resulted in a convincing 75-53 win, highlighted by Julian Reese's double-double with 18 points and 10 rebounds. Recalling last year's matchups, Maryland's formidable home record of 8-0 this season adds to the intrigue of the upcoming clash. Despite Maryland appearing slightly less formidable this season, the resilience demonstrated in previous campaigns and the support from the home crowd make them a formidable opponent. The potential return of Young, who was previously ruled out due to illness, further strengthens the Terrapins lineup. Purdue, with an outstanding 12-1 record, currently holds the top spot in the country. However, the odds suggest that Maryland, despite their perceived struggles, may present a challenge, especially when getting points in this game. While putting Purdue on upset alert, a conservative approach involves favoring the Terrapins plus the points, so the Maryland Terrapins to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Examining the historical scoring trends between these teams, it's evident that both excel defensively. Purdue boasts the 9th best defense in efficiency, allowing a mere 92.1 points per 100 possessions, while Maryland holds the 25th spot, conceding only 95 points per 100 possessions. As the Terrapins defend their home turf, the crowd's energy is likely to elevate their defensive prowess. Both teams also exhibit deliberate pacing, with Maryland ranking as one of the slowest teams in the country, utilizing just 67.5 possessions per 40 minutes. Purdue, although not as deliberate, stands at 133rd in tempo, using 70.2 possessions per game. Despite Purdue's ranking at 134th in adjusted tempo, their strategy revolves around a deliberate approach, emphasizing feeding the ball to Edey. Given the historical context of low-scoring encounters between these teams and Maryland's preference for a deliberate playing style, the projected total suggests a game characterized by careful play and staunch defensive efforts. Anticipating a closely contested conference game where both defenses shine, under the projected total is our full game total pick. North Carolina versus Pittsburgh. The Atlantic Coast Conference men's basketball schedule is currently underway, and on Tuesday night in Pittsburgh, the North Carolina Tar Heels and Pittsburgh Panthers are set to continue their league action. The Tar Heels enter this matchup with an overall record of 9-3 and a 1-0 standing in Atlantic Coast Conference play for the current season. Meanwhile, the Panthers boast a 9-4 overall record but are 0-1 in conference play. Having bounced back from a loss to Kentucky, the North Carolina Tar Heels secured victory victories against Oklahoma and Charleston Southern. Their offensive prowess is evident, averaging 86 points on 46.7% shooting, while defensively allowing 73 points on 41.9% shooting. Key contributors include R.J. Davis with an average of 22 points and 3.4 rebounds, Armando Bacot contributing 15 points and 10.8 rebounds, along with Harrison Ingram and Cormac Ryan making significant impacts. Notably, the Tar Heels hold a 36.7% shooting accuracy from beyond the arc and maintain a 76.5% success rate from the free throw line. Additionally, they allow opponents to shoot 33.2% from deep while grabbing an impressive 35.8 rebounds per game, placing them at 9-3 in the Atlantic Coast Conference standings. On the other hand, the Pittsburgh Panthers secured victories against South Carolina State and Fort Wayne but faced a setback with a loss to Syracuse. Their offensive statistics reflect an average of 80.5 points on 44.7% shooting, coupled with a defensive performance allowing 65 points on 39.7% shooting. Key players include Blake Hinson, averaging 19.5 points, Carlton Carrington contributing 14 points and 5.3 rebounds, and Ishmael Leggett making significant offensive contributions. The Panthers maintain a 35% shooting accuracy from beyond the arc and a 66.6% success rate from the free throw line. Defensively, they limit opponents to a 25.3% shooting accuracy from deep while grabbing an average of 39.1 rebounds per game. In their head-to-head meetings, the Panthers have dominated with a 5-1 straight-up and against the spread record, sweeping both matchups in the previous season. Notably, this marks the first true road game of the season for the Tar Heels, who have faced tough challenges, including 5 of their last 7 games against ranked opponents. While Pitt's defense has shown strength in the early season, they have allowed an average of 80 points per game in their 2 Atlantic Coast Conference losses, one of which occurred at home. The Panthers have faced a relatively softer non-conference schedule, reflecting in their struggles against stronger opponents. In the last 7 games, Pitt is 2-5 against the spread, while North Carolina stands at 4-3 against the spread. The scoring depth appears to favor North Carolina, considering their challenging schedule thus far, where they have held their own. In contrast, Pitt has struggled against higher caliber teams, going 0-4 against those inside the Ken Palm Top 100, and this trend is expected to continue, extending to 0-5 in this matchup. Therefore, so the North Carolina Tar Heels to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Throughout the current season, both teams have witnessed 8 games each surpassing the respective total, averaging approximately 28 field goals made per game, with a combined average of 19.9 three-pointers. Both sides showcase offensive prowess. The Tar Heels rank 29th in Ken Palm's tempo rankings and 9th in adjusted offense, emphasizing their fast-paced and efficient offensive strategy. In contrast, the Panthers rank 63rd in offense and 199th in tempo. Despite their offensive capabilities, Pitt has scored at least 80 points in 7 games, while North Carolina has achieved this feat in 9 games. Notably, 2 of the last 3 meetings between these teams have exceeded the projected total. Consequently, over the projected total is our full game total pick, anticipating a high-scoring encounter in this matchup. Iowa versus Wisconsin. Conference action within the Big Ten takes center stage on Tuesday as the Iowa Hawkeyes gear up to face the number 21 Wisconsin Badgers. Notably, Iowa is fresh off a commanding home victory over Northern Illinois, securing a 103-74 triumph as 18.5-point favorites. Meanwhile, Wisconsin also enjoyed a comfortable win in their recent home game, overpowering Chicago State 80-53 as 24.5-point favorites. It's worth noting that Wisconsin emerged victorious in both clashes against Iowa in the previous season. Heading into this matchup, Iowa finds itself with an 8-5 overall record and a pressing need to notch victories to enhance its chances of securing a spot in the NCAA tournament. While on a 3-game winning streak, these victories have predominantly come against lower-tier competition. In their most recent outing against Northern Illinois, Iowa's offense exploded for 103 points. On the season, the team maintains an average of 88 points per game, yet the defensive side of the equation has been a cause for concern, allowing an average of 77 points. Notable contributor Ben Crick has been pivotal, averaging 17 points with impressive shooting percentages. On the other side of the court, Wisconsin boasts a 9-3 overall record, signaling a team that, with the right elements falling into place, could make a significant impact in March. Their recent victory over Chicago State showcased a stellar defensive performance, limiting their opponents to just 53 points. A standout in that game was a Jay Storr, who contributed 29 9 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Throughout the season, Wisconsin has maintained an average of 74 points while conceding 65 points per game. The defensive aspect, ranked 51st, is likely to play a crucial role in determining the outcome of this game. Storr has been a key player, averaging 15 points per game and showcasing efficiency from the field and beyond the arc. Following this matchup, Wisconsin is scheduled to face Nebraska, Ohio State, and Northwestern. In the context of the Big Ten, Iowa finds itself in a situation where a victory becomes almost imperative. Teams commencing conference play with a 0-3 record seldom contend for the title and often struggle to secure a mid-pack finish. Currently, there are only 2 teams with a 0-2 record in conference play, and Iowa is eager to avoid becoming the first team to go 0-3. Despite facing this pressure, Iowa enters the game with momentum, having secured 3 consecutive wins. The Hawkeyes possess a formidable offense capable of scoring from various positions, with Crick providing strength in the post and Sanford showcasing proficiency from long range. Wisconsin, on the other hand, grapples with an injury concern as Chucky Hepburn exited the last game with a groin injury. Although not the top scorer, Hepburn holds a pivotal role as the point guard and leader in assists. Groin injuries typically involve a longer recovery period, potentially keeping him out of this crucial matchup. Desperation for a win, coupled with the uncertainty surrounding Wisconsin's point guard, positions Iowa as an intriguing play here. So the Iowa Hawkeyes to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. In their previous meeting, these teams generated a combined total of 116 points, falling below the set total of 139.5. However, the upcoming matchup is expected to differ significantly. Iowa's offensive prowess, evident in their average of 32.3 field goals per game, sets the stage for a more high-scoring affair. According to Ken Palm, the Hawkeyes' offense is ranked 22nd in the country, emphasizing their efficiency and tempo. In contrast, Wisconsin holds the 13th spot in offensive rankings. Having scored 75 points or more in multiple recent games, Wisconsin contributes to the likelihood of surpassing the total. Recent trends also support this, with the over hitting in 2 of Wisconsin's last 3 games and 4 of Iowa's last 5. Unlike the stereotypical slow-paced, defensive-oriented Big Ten matchups, both Iowa and Wisconsin play at a faster tempo. Iowa's offensive efficiency is complemented by their defensive vulnerabilities, ranking only 136th in defensive efficiency. Conversely, Wisconsin, despite a slower pace, boasts the 13th most efficient offense nationally. With these factors in mind, the expectation is that the total points will exceed the projected total, making over the projected total our preferred choice as full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.